Hey folks, it's God's Comic Brad Stine, and I'm going to ask you a pretty controversial question right now. If you've seen during this corona crisis people who refuse to wear a mask, do me a favor and comment down below. What did you think of them? How do you think we should have treated them as Americans? Or should we have treated them differently at all? Leave your comments. Let's talk about it. Okay, America, who would have thought well over a year ago that wearing or not wearing masks would become just another wonderful opportunity for Americans to become divided? As a Christian, I've had a bit of experience on this subject, though, that most of mainstream America have not. I grew up hearing from some Christians that celebrating Halloween was tantamount to worshiping the devil. First off, if I'm wearing a mask, how does the devil know it's me? Because to perform Halloween right, you need to wear a mask, right? Not to keep yourself and others from dying, of course, by spreading a disease you don't have. But instead, while a child, to have the fun of dressing up as your favorite superhero, or years later to keep you from being recognized when you're still trick-or-treating at 16. But simple reason masks were invented in the first place is so you wouldn't be recognized as being you. The purpose is to hide your face and to become someone or something else. More times than not, that person you become was either the opposite of who you actually were, a monster, a vampire, or a zombie, or it was someone you wanted to be, Superman, Hulk, Gordon Ramsay. But one thing was certain: when it came to wearing a mask, you, the real you, was going to be hidden, concealed. Thus, it gave you a license to be bad or evil or devious, and no one was the wiser. Plus, you weren't responsible for the actions of this new creature. The hiding of your true persona, wrapped in a package friends were familiar with, could be laid aside without repercussions, and the real you, or at least a part of you who are on the inside, could be released. This also allowed you to go to costume parties where everyone there was someone else, and unless they had no mask, nobody really knew who anyone else was. As a matter of fact, if you went as yourself, you weren't doing it right. The whole point of a costume party is to conform to the masses. You choose to come here knowing that to fit in, you have to conform. But so what? What's the big deal choosing to look and behave like someone you're not, especially because it's just for a little while and everyone else is doing it? That's the interesting thing with everyone else is doing it. The more everyone else conforms to the established rules, the more those that don't kind of stick out like a sore thumb. But another dynamic seems to crop up then. To not conform, to not play by the rules, begins to mark you as, at best, a party pooper, and at worst, someone who is ruining it for everyone else. We had this nice party all planned, and everyone is participating, but you. Why don't you either wear your mask or don't come to the party? What's weird is what makes everyone else uncomfortable is you chose to come as yourself. I mean, seriously, is it that difficult to put on an eye patch or a clown wig? If you don't want to participate, no problem, but just don't come. After all, it is a costume party. You kind of accepted the premise by showing up. Which brings me to an interesting cultural phenomenon we have all dealt with growing up. One of the phrases always bandied around to try to empower individuals, especially at a young age, was the phrase, be yourself. Don't worry what others think about you. If someone insults or ridicules you for being different, well, that's their problem. You don't have to apologize for being yourself. As a matter of fact, how many movies have been made that are usually described as a coming-of-age story that virtually always feature an outcast that is mocked and bullied at school who simply doesn't fit in? That is until the popular kid somehow sees the wonderful, unique spirit the nonconformist possesses and actually starts falling in love with her or him. Of course, this never actually happens in real time. It's a film designed around a myth that is somehow supposed to inspire all of us to accept people exactly the way they are. That concept then is distributed within actual culture, and we have watched in the last number of years how much we are commanded to admire the courageous kid that comes out to his or her parents or friends, or wears goth makeup, or plays the ukulele, or simply refuses to accept the norms of society. And for their courage, we are all supposed to be inspired. I must say that I am impressed by people who march to their own drum and could care less what others thought of them. As a matter of fact, that used to be what I admired most about gay people in America. And I've known many. They used to act and behave flamboyantly against all cultural conventions, and they flaunted it. Their motto was, I am a freak and I love it. See, that was when it was actually brave, when the culture didn't accept you, and it might cost you a job or friends or fitting in, and they absolutely were unfazed. I truly admire courageous people, irrespective of whether I agreed with their choices. So my question to you is, if this type of maverick behavior has traditionally been a source of inspiration, then why all the fuss over those who choose not to wear masks in public during the corona crazy? I know the easy go-to line, you will say that anti-maskers are endangering the lives of others, which is different than just going against the cultural grain. But the truth of the matter is, no matter who or why anyone chooses to behave outside societal norms, others are being affected. If we as a culture believe that we are forbidden to set standards of morality that cultures have established for millennia, then that means there will come a time where those that want to practice their religious beliefs that always contain moral absolutes will be taken to task and eventually told that they are bigots and intolerant simply because they chose to live their lives differently than the hedonists or the nihilistic materialists who don't believe in moral standards. The masks that have been enforced for well over a year now and have been utilized by far the majority of humanity simply have not stopped the spread of the coronavirus. Data has been manipulated. Businesses have been closed forever. Homes have been lost. Suicides have been up. Dignity has been stripped in shame. And the communist approach to spying and turning in of lawbreakers by fellow Americans that only a year ago would never have imagined themselves becoming what the Nazis and communists were is startling. Especially the ease by which Americans have conformed, literally handed their liberties away without so much as an inquiry as to a more productive way to approach this issue is mind-boggling. Coronavirus is real. A number of people have died from it worldwide. The majority of people, on the other hand, have either 1, not caught it, 2, had it, never knew, 3, had it, suffered some minor symptoms, got through it, 4, had it and suffered major symptoms and maybe even hospitalized, but they survived. So based on what we now know, if every human on earth stopped wearing masks, opened their businesses, and went back to work, the world would return to, are you ready, normalcy. And we would be able to be humans again. Yes, some more would die. But that is the fee mandated for those who want to live like dignified, free human beings. It comes with a sacrifice and a risk, always has. I never wore a mask from the get-go. Something was wrong, and I didn't know what it was, but something didn't sit well with me. And I felt as a autonomous, First Amendment, free, liberty American, this wasn't going to work for me. By the way, I got sick. And I had 5 days of an aching body. I didn't get tested, and I'm certain I had the coronavirus. I also told my family, if I died, please remember I am okay with it. I died a free man who didn't talk a good game. I lived it. Many have gone before me and risked and sacrificed their lives so I could live free these many years. It was my turn this time. We tried for a year to protect the sick and potential sick, and that's good. Could it be it's their turn to sacrifice for the healthy now? So what's it going to be, people? You ready to swim upstream, risk alienation and ridicule so you can end the story being shown to be the truly brave and honorable one? Don't wait for others to lead the way. There's one huge revelation in all this. It's the sad reality that America is absolutely and fully populated by cowards. If this is who we are when it gets tough, we aren't in trouble. We're dead. This is God's comic, Brad Stine. Sorry, folks, but PC free is the only way to liberty. Hey, if you just finished watching my latest rant, you are one of the mighty 1,000. What is that? That is the first 1,000 people who have seen what I'm doing, this unorthodox, comedic, but hopefully insightful way to engage the culture about Jesus, about logic, philosophy, reason, and returning to America's values. That's what this entire ministry is about. That's what the PC free movement is. So I need your help. Yeah, you're already one of the 1,000, and God bless you for that. But I need more. We're not at 1,000 yet, and those first thousands will forever be the original launchers of this unique ministry and sort of mission to America. So please share this. Try to bring friends in. And matter of fact, if you can show me that you get 10 friends, if you can prove it somehow or another, I might even send you a free gift. I just want to grow this into something that can be helpful, inspiring to people from all walks of life. And who knows, it might go worldwide. I also hope to see you live as I'm out there in comedy clubs and churches, spreading the good news in this really odd way. Hey, unfortunately, this is what God got stuck with in this season in America. Join us. Be part of the 1,000. You already are. Bring in some other warriors.